Welcome everybody in the lessons number 8 of the video lessons in the framework of the EU-funded project eCultures Managing Cultural Heritage in Tourism on the topic European funding, project managements and EU funding programs. Today we will deal with the topic social medias in EU funding, which is a very important topic. In particular, it has been gaining importance in the last year, and we will have a focus on some important aspects while implementing European projects using social medias, and also now to get informations from social medias of the European Commission, the European institutions. So we will do a short introduction to see how important the topic is actually for EU projects, then we will provide you with some examples where you can get information related to EU funded projects, results, statistics, etc. We will also see that there is in the meanwhile there has been the new rise of a professional profile social media strategists within EU funded projects, and then we will see some example of Twitter, LinkedIn and Facebook. So let's have a short introduction. The European Union makes a massive use of social medias for communicating. The European Union is very active on the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, to provide information to the stakeholders about news relating to funding program, funded projects, initiatives, statistics, etc. So you should also proactively try to get information on the social media. It is very important to stay updated and follow the relevant general directions and bodies in the social medias, as, like I mentioned, they are very active. And we will give here some examples of social media activities within European projects and also from the EU institutions, and we will see the social media manager and social media strategist for EU project as a, let's call it, new professional figure which has been rising, in particular in different companies working directly in Brussels. So the social media strategist, it is a new profile in EU project management. Since 2015, there is a new way of communicating within EU projects. Social media gain importance and are more and more used for dissemination and also for the communication within the project, as they actually allow the project management and the project partner to reach a more broad target group and to reach a broader audience, in particular related to the youth, but also to other target groups active in the field of European project. Since 2017, in Brussels, there have been more than 10 companies related to the topic that were born. So that shows us the importance of this topic and of social media strategies as a professional profile. The social media strategist, or also the expert of social media strategies for EU project, will be the person responsible in doing everything related of communication and dissemination on the social media. It will be responsible for conceiving and implementing communication campaigns in the social medias. As, like I said, social medias are nowadays integral part of the strategies also used by the EU. So we have these two levels. One level about the campaign within the projects, and one level about the campaigns that the European Union itself does on the social medias. Here we provide you some examples of information you can get related to funded program. It's on LinkedIn. So one is from the Danube Transnational Program, which is an Interreg for the Danube region, transborder and transregional cooperation within the Danube regions. Then here we provided you some other information about the Adriatic and Ionian region used here, the EU strategy for Adriatic and Ionian region. This is from the LinkedIn account of the director at European Commission of the EASME. And so you see they just post and ask for feedbacks to the stakeholders, so you can just have a look, you can just see how actually proactively the European Union works on LinkedIn through these two examples of funding programs. But these are not the only examples. We have from LinkedIn, from the page of LinkedIn, from the executive agencies for small and medium-sized enterprise, they launched the Tourism Award of Opportunities conference, which was actually published in Brussels, and they did actually advertise for this conference on the LinkedIn account. Still another interesting information for you as professional working in the field of tourism and also cultural heritage, you will be able to see on the Executive Agency for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises LinkedIn account that they actually provided information about EU funding available for projects supporting transnational thematic tourism linked to cultural and creative industries. The deadline was on the 19th of July 2018, and they just advertised for this deadline. From the Twitter now, the funding program Creative Europe, which we have been seeing in the textbook, they did the Eurobarometer, and they asked European citizens what did they think about culture and cultural heritage, and the answer was that 70% of them said that culture and cultural heritage are important factors when choosing an holiday destinations. And they send also information about this Eurobarometer. We have also already been seeing EU barometers should be actually integrated. The statistics and findings of EU barometers could be integrated in the project development, as they are important numbers and indicators for the European level related on certain files. Let's say in Twitter, Creative Europe, also about cultural heritage, did some interesting posts and statistics about cultural heritage. Funding from Creative Europe has its own account. Then staying in Creative Europe, Europe's cultural heritage contributing significantly to EU economy, jobs and growth, with some economic data provided by the Twitter account of the Creative Europe. For example, for instance, cultural heritage contributes to EU economy around 8.4 million people employed in this sector. This amounts to 3.7% of total employment, etc., etc. So you see they proactively provide interesting information that may be relevant for you while wanting to apply for a project, for a European project in the field of tourism and cultural heritage. The EASME, the Executive Agency for SMEs, they also did some statistics. 12 million people in the EU work in the tourism sector. 68% of these are in the UK, Germany, Italy, Spain and France. Learn more about jobs in tourism, and then they advertised also some conferences and some open workshops where professionals could be contacted and about jobs in tourism at European level. Europa Nostra, which is also a network of entities working in the field of cultural heritage. They also did the inauguration of the European Year of Cultural Heritage 2018, and it was published for Berlin, and they used Twitter also for advertising it. Another advertisement from Creative Europe, congratulating the 9 sites proposed for European Heritage Label 2018, which is a label that you saw on the textbook, related to cultural heritage within Europe. Still the EASME, Executive Agencies for SMEs, advertising about a project, Western Black Sea Underwater Cultural Tourist Routes, which found some cultural tourist routes underwater in Romania and Bulgaria. It was a funded project in the topic of underwater cultural heritage, actually. And they've been advertising for this project, so you can see you get still more additional information about it. If you switch now file or sector, you see there are advertisements for the European Commission traineeships that are direct advertising from European Union entities, institutions. And also on Facebook, of course, there is a lot of activities. Erasmus Plus, for example, has its own account publishing news. This is the news about the new budget for 2021 on Erasmus Plus. Or if you are interested in cultural heritage, they advertised the European Cultural Heritage Summit, which took place in Berlin between the 18th and the 24th of June 2018, where actually also this project, eCultures, was represented. And if you want additional information about, for example, digital education, you will get it on the Facebook, on Erasmus Plus, but these information are also available on Twitter. So we have seen that there is plenty of information related to the topic. You just have to proactively use the social medias, and then to get this interesting information, also to implement this information, to actually take over this information in your project development. So to conclude, social media manager, social media expert for EU project is a new professional profile which has born in the last years. The use of social media is not only for dissemination scope within the project, but also for getting information from the European institutions and the other projects that are also active in the field. You can find statistics, tables, numbers, facts that are constantly published and will become even more important in the coming years, of course, because the trend goes in this direction of importance related to the topic. So, thank you very much for listening, and we wish you a pleasant